All right, here we are. How is everybody doing tonight? A Friday night. I hope everybody's doing well. Give it a minute here before we get started. I like to try to wait until at least 15 seconds are in because then I know everybody can hear me and stuff like that. All right, we're going to be talking about what's going on. There is a lot of things I want to go over, and we will get to all of them, I promise. Uh, Before we get started, though, I just want to remind everybody if we have any problems with the stream, uh, any interruptions, that I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. So I just wanted to put that out there to begin with. Again, because, we've had issues, unfortunately. I guess sometimes when you're talking about things they don't want you to talk about, you get interrupted. But what are you going to do? So, anyway, so just putting that out there ahead of time. I would also like to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. So I would ask people to be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. So please be decent with each other. And of course, don't be mean to me. Anyway, guys, if you had any idea how much hate I deal with, you'd be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it." And I laugh. I do. I just have to laugh at it. So, but anyway, ask you to be nice. If you can't be nice, then those awesome people that you see lit up in blue, they will boot you out of here. So let's not have that happen. Let's have a wonderful chat. Let's talk about a lot of different things. There's a lot of different information going on. One correction, because whenever I screw up and make a mistake, I always like to be right up front and say I screwed up. Okay. So when I did my earlier video today, I said pine trees, and they're not pine trees. I think they're juniper trees. Somebody had pointed that out to me that I made a mistake. That those where I was at were not pine trees. So my bad. And again, I'm always going to be the first to, you know, if I like I said, if I screw, I make mistakes. I'm not a forester guy. It looked like pine trees to me. So it's kind of but the premise is the same from what I was saying earlier. Okay, so just putting that out there ahead of time. You need to always man up to your mistakes, and that's what I try to do. If I screw up, you know, that's how it goes. All right, so let's get into a couple of different things here. A lot of stuff going on. The first thing I want to touch on, and I really wanted to touch on this because it happened today, and oh my God, how am I not surprised? The picture of the guy sitting at Nancy Pelosi's desk, right? Everybody remembers that? And then he comes outside and he has Nancy Pelosi's mail and does an interview. Remember that? Well, he's from Arkansas. He's 60 years old and he's now been arrested. All right. Just like I said, that they would try to make examples of people. They will try to, you can't, don't be stupid. That's, it's a really simple thing. Don't do stupid things. You won't get yourself jammed up. Unfortunately, that individual has been charged with theft because he stole her mail. Okay. He's also been charged with, going on into a restricted area and all those type of things. I think it was like you know, three charges that he got charged with. Again, now he's going to get jammed up. He's going to have to get a lawyer. He's going to have to pay a ton of money for that. Who knows what they'll do as far as that whole process of things. But again, and I said this before, they're going to try to use this to make examples of people. I called it. Absolutely, don't ever put yourself in those type of positions. Now, watching a lot of the film that I have been watching today and seeing a lot of information being put out there that, people saying that there was Antifa were brought in on buses escorted by police before, the get together. And again, if it was a planned event, everybody and their brother knew what was going on, that there was going to be this huge gathering in Washington, D.C., right? Everybody knew it. Everybody knew it. So if I was a bad actor and wanted to try to set something up, you had plenty of time to do that. So part of there's so many things that just don't add up to me. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, so I don't want you guys sitting there thinking, oh my God, he's getting off on some conspiracy theorist thing. But looks like a setup big time. Looks like a complete false flag. What I have a huge, huge issue with, and everything that is being said, these domestic terrorists. Okay, now wait a minute. You know what? Domestic terrorists don't casually walk upstairs. Domestic terrorists don't stay with inside the velvet ropes once they're in there. Did you see those pictures? I hope you guys saw those too. Okay, there was no, insanity happening. Now there was some, don't get me wrong, banging on the door and making a big scene, and of course the cameras crews were strategically placed as amazingly as that worked out as well, right? It stinks of a setup. People have seen the video. I'm sure you guys have seen the video of them, the cop waving people, come on. Now, why would a cop do that? Why would they encourage you to go in? Again, I believe and just from what I've seen with the information and stuff like that, I think it was a setup. I do believe that Antifa was involved, that they were trying to get people riled up. Going in there was, and I've said it before, and I'm not making excuses. There's no excuse for what they did going in there. Very bad decision making. Okay. Hello, young lady. Hello. You want to say hi to everybody? Okay, hold on real quick. We can do that. Oh. I got to show you her how big she's getting. Look at how big she is already. Hey, stop. She was 12 weeks old on the 6th, and that's how big she is already. Her paws are actually bigger than Caesar's paws, and he's full grown. So yeah. Hey, no. So, but come on, nope, down. She's gonna be a huge dog. She's gonna be really, really big. But yeah, she just turned 12 weeks on the 6th of January, so she's doing really, really well. Real quick before we get any further into this, we got over 1,000 people in the chat already. We're at 274 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask you, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. I do appreciate it. Again, it really helps with the channel. And, so I do appreciate that. Again, with the algorithms as well, the more interaction we have, it really does help the channel as well. So I would ask you to shoot a thumbs up for that reason as well. And I do appreciate that as well. Also, I do like to see a lot of thumbs up. So that is obviously the third reason that I would ask, because why not, right? Anyway, so then also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you ahead of time. All right. So let's get back into this. All right. People are going to be arrested. That's an obvious. They're already arresting people. They're identifying people in videos and stuff like that who were in there that should not have been in there. Okay. Brain fart, whatever you want to call it, caught up in the moment. It happens. But now here's the problem I have. They're being called domestic terrorists. And I have a huge problem with that, especially such short memories that so many people have. What has been going on in this country for months and months and months? What has been going on in Portland for months and months and months with the insurrection and the rioting? See, that's true rioting. Okay, that is true domestic terrorism, when you're setting fire to buildings, when you're hurting people, when you're beating people up because they have a different viewpoint than you have, when you're destroying and stealing property. Okay, there was very little damage done in Washington. I mean, let's be 100% honest. All right, they're called it's an attempted coup. No, it wasn't. Okay, so if it was an attempted coup, why did they leave? Why did they leave peaceably? Why was there not hundreds and hundreds of protesters shot? Because they were in this big firefight with the Capitol Police, right? No, they left. They probably, cooler heads prevailed and said, oh crap, we probably should not be here. Let's get the heck out of here. Okay. Now, there was some damage caused. Absolutely, there was. Okay. But not anywhere near the scale of what has happened before. It was not an attempted coup. Absolutely not. Okay. The media spins things unbelievably. And I just saw this too, and I had to mention this. The false claim that Antifa was involved, that's already being pushed out there in the media. They're already saying, nope, 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 Antifa wasn't involved at all. Okay. So again, you need to make your own judgment. Look at the information, look at the evidence, make your own judgment call on the situation. That's what we need to do. But this was not an attempted coup, not in any way, shape, or form. You have people that were seriously unhappy. Hey, Prepper Chris 1. In all honesty, if we want to take it, we would have. Exactly. The reality is there was so many people down there that if they really, truly wanted to get in there and take things over, it would have happened. Now, information that I heard that I cannot confirm. Okay, so we're going to get into this. Very, very interesting stuff. Hey, Dawn. Preps are strong, but lacking comms. Please help. Need to stay updated on what's going on and need to stay in touch with adult kids 10 miles away if things go down. Ham radios, CBs, walkie-talkies even. Some of these walkie-talkies, if your kids are 10 miles away, it might be dicey, but if you buy a higher-end walkie-talkie, and, that would be the way to do it as well. But, a CB radio would be great. Have your kids get a CB. You have a CB. Easy to stay in contact within 10-mile radius. No problems whatsoever with that. Ham radios are obviously even better, but unless you have a ham license operator license, you're not allowed to be on the air. So probably my suggestion with your kids that are 10 miles away would be a CB. That would be my suggestion. Have them have one, you have one, and that way you can stay in communication that way. Thank you very much for the question, and thank you very much for the donation as well. Okay, so let's get into things that I cannot confirm that is being put out there. Okay, and again, I'm not going to say this is 100% true because I don't know. Okay, there's been a lot of chatter about laptops being taken. Democratic laptops being taken, that Nancy Pelosi left her laptop in her office and that it was taken. Okay. That there was actually people in the crowd that were placed there on purpose, military people that were there to do intel gathering. So the getting into their, they ran out of there like chickens with their head cut off, right? We all know that. And the chatter is that laptops were taken, that a lot of the Democrats, and Republicans in their rush to get out of there left their laptops behind because if they're scared, technically, who knows if it was really how scared they were. And again, I don't know, maybe they were, who knows. Okay. But laptops were left behind. Laptops were gathered from what I'm understanding. Now, I cannot confirm or deny that, but that is very interesting if it's true. Okay. What information would be on those laptops would be very, very interesting. Okay. I heard a whole scenario, and a couple people have sent me the videos on it, which I did watch the videos. A lot of information comes in, which it's like, so I'm trying to, things that I can absolutely 100% confirm. I'm going to say, yes, this is true. I saw this, like the guy being arrested. That's absolutely true. He was arrested. Okay. The other stuff that is rumors and, speculation, I can't, I'm not going to sit on here and say this is factual information if I don't know for sure that it's factual. But we're going to get into this second part of this, which if it's true, it'll be really, really interesting moving forward. Really interesting moving forward. There is talk that this was all allowed to happen, that they were trying to see who the players were and stuff like that. There's talk that up to the Vatican is involved with trying to fix the election. Okay. Now, if it's true or not true, I don't know. Okay. But if it is true and that they can prove it, boy, will that be an interesting time moving forward here. Okay. It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens with that. Now, it was a lot of the talk where they were like having to play things out. see how things were done. It's like with letting the Georgia elections continue on, and then lo and behold, both of the the Democratic candidates win, right? Now they own the presidency, the House, and the Congress. So again, it was supposedly, and I'm not saying it's true or not true, okay, that it was allowed to play out because I had to find out the rest of the information to see um, if it's true. If it was true, boy, I'll tell you what, it would be a brilliant, brilliant move by the president. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. Obviously, everybody has heard this one is true. This one is true, that Nancy Pelosi is pushing with 12 days to go in his presidency, by the way, that on Monday they want to push, they want to do articles of impeachment on the president because they're saying that he's unfit to serve, that he's the one that incited these riots, and all this type of stuff. Okay. I'm going to tell you what, if it is true that Biden is going to be president, that the House is going to be Democratic and the Senate is going to be Democratic. L. Gibson, if you have stuff, hold on a second. If you have stuff on your laptop that could damage you, this would be a great time to make it disappear and blame it on others. Just saying. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That could be very well as well. But you know what? They think they got all the balls in their court too. So with this disruption that happened and stuff like that, I mean, nobody was expecting this to happen. Nobody was expecting that, oh my God, there's going to be this rush and all these people are going to go in there and do all this type of stuff. But if it was staged, if it was premeditated, let's say, and it could have been, let's speculate here. If they were trying to get this information and get laptops, maybe this was done by the Republicans on purpose. That very well could be. I really find it hard to believe that the Capitol Police and everybody else would not have been more squared away and ready to deal with this huge, huge crowd, right? Does that make any sense to you? So again, it's something to pay attention to. It could have been done on either side as a ploy, as a false flag. It could have been done as a distraction. It could have been Republicans doing it as a distraction to get those laptops to get information. Absolutely could be that way. It could also be a false flag set up by the Democrats to make the president look bad on his way out and to try to humiliate him even further. So it could be either way. And I'm not saying it's definitely this way or if it's definitely that way. What I am saying is, from my own observations and watching the videos and stuff like that, the whole thing seems staged. It does not seem realistic when you have a police officer waving people in. Yeah, come on, let's go on in here. They were not rushing. They were not charging and knocking people over. It was pretty orderly if you pay attention to it. Now, let's do a comparison of what has been going on, with Portland there. That was not so orderly. People were acting like freaking animals. And if anything is domestic terrorism, it is all the crap that Antifa and the BLM have perpetuated over the course of this last year. Okay. And I'm sorry if you disagree with me on that, and which is absolutely your right to disagree with me on that. But when you have businesses that are looted, when you have businesses that are burned to the ground, when you have people beat up, there was an old couple in Rochester, New York, right down the road from where I live. Okay. An old couple there got beat up by 2x4s. These animals use 2x4s and beat up these old people. I'm sorry, I have an issue with that. Okay, I really, really have an issue with that. That should never have taken place. Never should have happened. Okay. Again, real quickly, guys, we're almost at 1,600 people in the chat. We're 570 on the thumbs up, so I got to ask again, and I'll ask a few times during the night. So I appreciate you being patient with me. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet to show support for the channel, I would ask you to please do that. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. Okay. Also, I like to see a lot of thumbs up is the third reason, being honest. So thank you for doing that for that reason as well. Also, If you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And thank you for doing that as well. Okay. So, all right. So let's continue on. A lot of stuff. It was like I was being inundated today, which I'm sure a lot of you guys were. So a lot of information out there, a lot going on. Okay. So it, what? I know you're a good baby. But anyway, it's very, very interesting times that we're dealing with here. And again, like I said, we're gonna see how this plays out. Excuse me. Excuse me. You have to go now. You're being very loud. Yes. You're a good girl. No. That's it. She's already starting to grow into her new harness, and her new harness will, I think it's good for her up to 60 or 80 pounds. So yeah. I'm telling you what, this dog is going to be huge. She's going to be huge. Very gentle disposition, which is awesome. Very, very loyal, very, very loyal dog. So I'm very, very fortunate, and she's definitely up my butt all the time. So, so yes, legalized marijuana. Windy Melody just said that. Lola Paw 333. A nation that is afraid of its people. Hold on a second. A nation that is afraid to let its people judge the truth and falsehood is an open market for a nation that is afraid of its people. JFK. Yeah, it's just. So I want real quick. We're going to go into the marijuana legalization thing really quickly in a moment, but I wanted to talk about this really quickly. Okay. I had somebody say in the comments to me, and I called it out. And I'm sorry, I'm always going to call out what I consider BS. So this person was like, well, we accomplished something by doing what we did. You accomplished nothing. All you accomplished is that woman was dead and stuff like that. And then he was like, oh, no, she died for a reason. And she died. I said, she died for nothing. That veteran Air Force woman, 14-year veteran that was killed by the Capitol Police, she died for nothing. Nothing, which is sad and a waste of life. Hey, Full of Hope. I think if they want to start impeachment, it's because Trump could still have the ability to do damage. But what is that? Well, I think a part of it is they're afraid that he would run again in 4 years. I think that's part of the fear. So if they can impeach him, it would probably impede him from running again in 4 years. But again, we're going to have to see. Yeah, and unarmed. Yes, she was unarmed as well. Exactly. But it's like all this crap that happened in these other cities with Antifa and BLM, these moron governors and mayors, don't use tear gas on them. Don't disperse them. They're just upset. Oh, that's ridiculous. That's domestic terrorism. When you have people that are afraid to go out of their houses and all that type of stuff, because of the way people are acting and they fear for their lives because of that, that's domestic terrorism. I am not justifying in any way, shape, or form what happened in Washington. Should have never happened. Never should have happened. It's hard to believe that this was egged on and staged so they could call for the 25th Amendment or impeachment. They want him out now. Oh, it's not hard. Right. No, you know what? I agree with you 100%. And thank you very much for the donation, and thank you very much for the comment. Yeah, it's not hard that it would be staged on purpose. It's too weird. The way it all went down, it is absolutely too weird. So, and of course, do I believe there was Antifa in the crowd? Absolutely, I believe that there was Antifa in the crowd. They had more than enough time to plan things, to get things set up. When you want to try to get things agitated, this is out of the playbook from the Nazis, guys. Realistically, if you think about it. It's just a playbook out of the Nazis. So now you vilify. That's what the media has done now. And this is what kills me about the media. Okay, it's okay for these morons to do this for months and months and months in these different cities: Seattle, Portland, Rochester, New York, Cleveland, Chicago, Washington, D.C., where they had 5 days in a row where people were burning and looting, robbing. So this is a question that I would have, okay? This is a question I would have for people. And this is Washington, D.C. My source that lives in Washington, D.C. tells me this stuff. He was there. He witnessed this. Gangs of these people went to drug stores where they had the narcotics, broke into these things and stole every bit of drugs out of there. Now, if you're angry and you're upset, what is that helping? Who is that helping? What are you doing? You're being very crazy. Yes. Well, not too crazy, but yes, I know you're a baby. Um, but again, what does that help? That helps nothing. Okay. So then turn around and say what happened yesterday is, domestic terrorism. That's laughable. Laughable. Because first of all those people left peacefully. When they left peacefully. They were not flipping out. They weren't destroying and burning and beating people up and stealing everything that wasn't nailed down on their way out, right? Oh, and let's put this out there as well. We're putting it all out there, so let's put this out there as well. What does CNN say today? Got to push the racism card, right? If we're CNN, we got to push the racism card. Here are these poor black janitors cleaning up the mess that all these horrible white right-wing lunatics had made. They had to go and clean it up. That's what they were pushing today. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Let's remember something, okay? And I want people to realize this, okay? And I don't think a lot of people do realize this. Washington, D.C. is 90% black. 90% black, okay? So it just goes to kind of figure that a lot of people that are working in that area are probably going to be black. I know it's a shock when a community is 90% black that you would have black people actually working and doing stuff. It's shocking, I know. But to throw out the race card on that is absolutely ludicrous. Ludicrous. So, no, I don't think, no. I just took her out to pee just before I started the stream. So, no, she's good. And now I got, was it Caesar or Pandora? I got Caesar right here now blocking so she can't come back in here. They're very jealous. And I would almost guarantee you that Pandora is laying right over here someplace. They're so jealous and they want all the attention for themselves that they're going to make sure she can't be too close to me. So that's a lot of times why she's whining, because she wants to come, but she's afraid to climb over them. It's crazy. So, let's see. Why do I stay in New York, Ed? I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you something that a teacher told me, and it kind of explains why I stay in New York. I had a teacher when I was in 10th grade, and he said to the entire class, and I've said this before on video, but I'm going to say it again now. He says, how many of you plan on getting out of here and getting out of New York State when you graduate from high school? And probably 3/4 of the class rose their hands. So out of say 20 kids, 15 kids had their hands up saying, yeah, I'm out of here, right? And I think the class was a little bit bigger, but it doesn't matter. But I'm using that as an example. He said, out of everybody in this class, a lot of you will leave, but most of you will come back and settle within 50 miles of this high school. And I thought, no freaking way. I am out of here. I am not coming back. So I went in the military out of high school. I came back. I moved back down south at 27. I think it was 27 when I went down and lived in North Carolina. Family issues happened, called me back home. I came back home. I planned on being here 6 months. So I came back up here at 28. And now I am 55 and I am still here. Home is home. You get, and it's like, you get used to whatever you're near. And don't get me wrong, I love the South. I love the weather in the South. I think the weather's fantastic, and the people are awesome too. Don't get me wrong. Please don't misconstrue that. I've never dealt with anybody, nasty in the South. I love the South. It was awesome, but home is home, and you stay to what you're familiar with and what you're comfortable with. Now, that doesn't mean that down the road, I won't have another bug out retreat that I will put in the mountains of Tennessee or in South Carolina in the mountains. I see that happening down the road. So when winter does come here to the homestead, I can get out of Dodge and I can go down and be down south for 3 or 4 months. So that's kind of my long-term, bigger-term plans. Hey, Mr. True, make sure you prepare for the worst either way. Also check out, hold on a second, truewelding.com for your personalized metal signs. before the grid goes down. All right. Well, thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. So obviously that's your site, truewelding.com, guys, for your personalized metal signs. If you're interested, definitely go and check him out. Thank you for the donations. And yes, continue to prep too. On top of everything else, we definitely need to continue to prep. Really quickly, I want to mention my website, and we'll do that real quick and we'll get that out of the way. Yes, a police officer was killed too. I saw that. And I don't know the details of that. I didn't really hear a lot of the details of that one. But, I bet it was Antifa who hit him. That's who would do it. Yeah, it's as peaceful as people were, and everybody's seen the videos. Nobody was flipping out and destroying anything. They were pretty peaceful. I find it very, very hard. Like I said, who knows the situation? I don't know. I don't know. My ex-wife is still in the area, and I used to call home. I have no problem moving 700 miles away. And again, Eric, everybody's different. Everybody's in a different mindset, in a different place. My family's here, and I wanted to move back down south. Okay. When I was still with my ex-wife, I had said, let's go move down south. And she was like, no, I don't want to move away from my family and stuff like that. So then we stayed. Well, when we got divorced, I had my kids. Anybody who watches this channel knows that I've had my kids, been doing the single father thing since they were 10 years old. And I had my children. I would not leave at that point because I would not take my children away from their mother. Even though they didn't see her as much as she probably should have seen her kids, that was still their mother. And I could not do that to them. It wasn't the right thing to do. And so that's why I stayed. And, realistically, Heather's in college now, and she's in her second year. She's going to have 3 more years after this year. I'm not going anywhere, So, like I said, as I get older, who knows? I may want to do another project, another property. And if I do, that one will be down south. But I'll never get rid of this. Never get rid of this property. I love this property. So anyway, real quick, my website, preppernurse1.com. If you go to preppernurse1.com, we have the Prepper Nurse One community there. It's a great resource. Hey, Amy W. I've come to the realization that we don't have our government, all the lies and deceit. We only have ourselves and our family. I agree with you 100%. They're liars and thieves, and they're never going to tell us the truth. I agree with that 100%. Thank you for the statement, and thank you very much for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. So again, go to my website, preppernurse1.com. We have the Prepper Nurse One community there. It is a resource that we set up for you guys to connect with like-minded people. You do have to register because it is private, but it is totally free. No credit card information is asked at all. So definitely go and check that out, okay? Also, on my website, we have the Forefathers, which is the CBD and hemp store. So if you go to preppernurse1.com, you'll see that icon. Hey, the Angry Prepper, what's up, brother? Thank you very much, man, for the donation. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's very nice of you. They have the CBD and hemp store there. You click on the icon, it will take you to their website. If you decide to make a purchase, what they have, make sure you use the discount code PrepperNurse1. I got a hair in my eye there. PrepperNurse1, and that'll save you 15% on your purchase. So don't forget to do that, okay? Again, it's an opportunity there for you guys to get CBD products at a reasonable price and save yourself a little bit of money as well. Hey, Harry S88, Angry Prepper was there. He said it was peaceful. Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos, guys. A lot of videos saying that there was a lot of peaceful demonstration there, a ton. I mean, you're talking about a crowd of 1 million people. And, for the most part, it was very, very peaceful. Let's think about real quick, and I want, well, let me finish what I was going to say real quick, and then I want to get into that. Yeah, dog hair, exactly is what it was. They're all long-haired dogs. So anyway, on my website, we also have, excuse me, the Legacy freeze-dried food. If you go to my website, preppernurse1.com, you click on store, it'll drop down, it'll say Legacy Foods. Click on that, and it's also there. You can get whatever you want for the long-term freeze-dried food storage. 25-year shelf life. It's GMO-free, and it's also made in the United States, okay? And so anyway, I'm going to talk about this real quick, too, and this person brought this up. So anyway, take advantage of that. check out my website, preppernurse1.com. This stuff is definitely there, so take advantage of it. Okay, we got Windy Melody. Your opinion on Assange and the freedom to expose the government's misconduct. Okay, I don't know if people knew this or not, and I've got a couple emails just before the stream. Assange just did a huge dump of information on the internet, exposing a lot of stuff from what I'm understanding. Okay, definitely look into that. There's all kinds of stuff going on. There was a Hillary Clinton's emails, all that type of stuff. So huge dump. And what are my thoughts on that? I think that is awesome, that they're holding people accountable for their actions. These politicians for way too long have had the freedom to get away with whatever they wanted to get away with. They can do whatever they want to do, okay? And they don't like it. They don't like it. And you know what? Trump just doesn't intimidate them. Trump scares them, because Trump cannot be bought, in my opinion, okay? Is he doing stuff to make money for his family while being president? I'm sure he is. But I want to bring up a couple of facts. Let's bring up a couple of facts about the president. And I want to hear what people say. I want to hear how people dismiss this. These are facts. 4 brokered Middle East deals for peace in the Middle East between countries. Hasn't happened before. He did 4 of them while he's been president. 4 of them. Look it up. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. The other thing, has the president in 4 years brought us into a new war? Has he? Nope, he sure hasn't. Okay. Those are a couple of facts. So again, when you have somebody that I believe in and again, Trump haters are going to hate him no matter what. They're going to hate him no matter what. Okay. But he has done some good things. Is he a blowhard? Is he an egomaniac? Of course he is. Show me a politician that's not an egomaniac. Show me a politician that's head isn't this big and they're all full of themselves. That comes with the job. That comes with the job. Okay. But again, he's done a lot of good, in my opinion, and I'm just giving you my opinion. You guys can think whatever you want, and that's fine. Okay. But again, and yes, let's talk about the censorship by big tech. Okay. You just had the president. Let's break this into down. Twitter just suspended him forever, right? Because, he's causing insurrection and he's causing this. The president has the codes to the nuclear bombs that he could do at any time in his presidency, where he could have at any time in the last 4 years pushed the button and put us in a nuclear war. Anytime he could have done that. Has he? But Twitter, in their awesome foresight, has decided that he is a threat to causing riots and insurrection. But BLM and all those type of people, they're not. Here's another thing that I find interesting. Let's go with Facebook, right? Trump is not my president.com or on Facebook. Look it up. It's still there, right? That's there. But oh my God, Biden is not my president. That one has been taken down twice. 2 different groups that were started, that's been taken down twice. Whatever happened to freedom of speech? Whatever happened to having dissenting opinions? Well, wait a minute. Your opinion doesn't coincide with mine, so I'm going to erase you completely. Okay? A political platform, and they're making choices left or right on those platforms. That's not right. Okay? Now, some of you will say to me, well, you censor your stuff on your channel. That's right. You know why? Because this is my channel. That's why I can do it. I'm not going to leave people putting up all kinds of hate and nastiness on my channel. That's not going to happen. Local experimentalists make reproduction illegal. Yeah, right. Oh my God, that's funny. Thank you very much for the donation. That's you should. There should be a license to be able to reproduce, because some of these people. Careful, Ed, you buffered. Oh, okay, Rand. Thank you very much. They just removed the Parler app from the Apple Store. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. The censorship And if you won't go along with the program, that they're going to screw with you and mess with you. That's sad, realistically. Guys, really quickly, we're at 1720 in the chat. We're at 885 on the thumbs up. Let's do a quick push and get up over 1,000, and then we'll do the egg count, okay? If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do it now to show support for the channel, and thank you ahead of time for doing that. It really does mean a lot to me. Again, all the interaction being in the chat, the thumbs up or thumbs down, it really helps with the algorithms. So thank you for that reason as well. Hold on a second here. We got, hey, Tony. Ed, if people can't see the suppressing opposing voice is straight out of Nazi Germany, then the future lost. We are further lost than I thought. Yeah, it's absolutely suppression, and it's textbook Nazi Germany. You're 100% correct. Textbook. Thank you very much for the statement, and thank you for the donation as well. Again, and the third reason, I like to see a lot of thumbs up, so thank you for that reason as well. Okay. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well, and thank you very much as well. ABC TV calls for the cleansing of Trump movement and ideology. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram dumping conservative content channels. See where this is going? Exactly. And that's Budapest Mole. Thank you very much for the statement. You're right. That's absolutely suppression of opposing views. What did the Nazis do? They took people that did not agree with their views. They put them in concentration camps or labor camps, re-education camps, whatever spin you want to put on it. That's where they put those people. Anybody that did not agree with the narrative and did not go along, that's where they put them. Okay. We'll do the egg count now. Even though we're 13 short of 1,000 subscribers, we'll still do the egg count. What do you guys think the egg count was today here at the homestead? Now, I'm going to give you the last 3 days in a row. We had 6. Actually, all three the last 3 days, we've had 6 eggs the last 3 days. So what do you think we were at today? I'll give a minute to get your answers up here. I'm giving you guys a minute here. Okay. And I knew this was going to happen today. I knew it was going to happen. Oh, wait a minute. And finally. Angel or Gordon 57. Okay. Angel or Gordon 57. Finally, somebody had the right guess. I said, nobody's going to guess this today. 9 eggs. If you had the same guess as her, which none of you did, 9 eggs today. So Angel or Gordon 57 was the only one. So nobody can say, oh, yeah, I had 9 eggs too, because no, you didn't. The only one person said 9 eggs. We had 9 eggs today. I have not had 9 eggs since the fall. So they were laying. I was like, holy crap. I couldn't believe it. I had gotten, by 1 o'clock, I had 5 eggs already at 1. And then when I went out and I put them to bed later, probably 4:30, I think it was 4:30, locked them up. And then I said, well, let me just check one more time. And there was 4 more. I was like, holy crap. Couldn't believe it. Now, you got to understand, I have 17 hens, 17 laying hens. During the summertime, I get between generally 9 and 12 eggs a day. That's what I normally get. Okay. So to get 9 eggs in the middle of winter, that's awesome. So I was really, really happy about that. So, but yeah, so they're doing good. Well, if you look at them, their molting is all done now. Their feathers are all back. So, they got to go through that process. And when people were saying, we'll put artificial lights in and stuff like that, I won't do that to my chickens. And I'm going to tell you why. They still have to have a cycle where they're resting as well. I was still getting eggs every day. Now, yeah, I wasn't getting a whole lot because so many of the birds were molting and growing new feathers. They need that rest. They need that energy to produce new feathers because winter was coming and that's how they stay warm. They huddle together, on the roost and they fluff themselves out. It's weird how they do it, but it's pretty cool if you look at it. and that's how they stay warm. So I'm never gonna do artificial stuff. They're gonna give me what they give me as far as eggs go, and that's, that's my philosophy on it, and and it works out, So, but I enjoy them. I got to tell you, they're a pleasure. I love having them. I go out there. Good morning, ladies. I do it every day, every day. So no matter what kind, and it's funny too because no matter what kind of mood I'm in, the chickens, they don't give a crap. They're just happy to see you. They're like, oh my god, this is the guy that brings the food and the water. So, but they're fun. They're a lot of fun, and I really really enjoy them. But again, you got to take care of your animals. You do. I think that's really really important. So, but anyway, um, moving on. Let me get a drink here real quick. A ton of information, guys, today. It's amazing. Trump just tweeted a bunch of and Twitter deleted it after 2 minutes. Well, like I said, they suspended his account, you know. But again, why are they pushing so hard to keep people quiet? Why would see? Here's what. Listen, there's always going to be conspiracy theory things out there. Always going to be that. That's never going to go away. And here's the scary part about that. A lot of those conspiracy theories, some of them are actually true, but everybody is dismissed as a nut job. A great example, and let's hey, why don't we use myself once again? I've been prepping for a very, very long time. Hurricane Katrina was my wake-up call. I've talked about it many, many times. That was my eye-opening moment when I went, oh my God, we need to be self-sufficient. We need to be taking care of ourselves. That was my moment back then when I saw that. Okay. So that was what, 2005, I think. Okay. That was my wake up moment. It was 2004, 2005. Whenever Hurricane Katrina, I think it was 2005, if I'm not mistaken. So what happens is when that happened, that was my affinity defining moment, if you will. And so I got to it, and I got into prepping, and I got into prepping hardcore. Okay. He just tweeted, thinking about making their own platform. I don't know what that would mean. Or, maybe he's talking about his own YouTube type of stuff or something like that. Maybe he's talking about that. His own TV or whatever. Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, the number of people that told me I was crazy for prepping. Oh my God, that's why do you do that? That's so unnecessary, that you're too extreme. You're crazy, right? So you automatically get dismissed. You're automatically dismissed because why? Because it makes them uncomfortable. They can't look at it and rationalize why you would do that, why you would think about your family. And if they think about it, okay, and they're not thinking about their family, they're thinking of their own wants and needs and what they feel like doing, it would reflect badly on them. So it's easier to dismiss you. It's easy to dismiss you and say, oh, they're crazy thinking like that. That's nuts. Okay. It makes them feel better. Okay. That's what happens. And it happens all the time. As soon as you disagree or you don't fit into the narrative, you're dismissed as an extremist. You're a right-wing lunatic. You're a racist. Again, if I can scream louder than you and scream over you, okay, then a lot of times people will shut up because, like, okay, a good example is if we're having a conversation, and we'll go. I'm having a conversation with a Chinese gentleman. We're going to use that for an example. And I'm talking about the fact that the virus started in China, and and this is where it originated and stuff like that. And then he starts screaming at me, "You're a xenophobe. You hate Chinese people." Well, a lot of times, not me, I wouldn't do it, but a lot of times people will shut up and they will shut down because they don't want to be perceived as, oh my God, I can't be perceived as this. Because some lunatic is yelling at you and calling you something doesn't make it true. Because I shave my head, does that make me a white supremacist? No, you know what it makes me? It makes me a balding guy that decided I didn't want to look ridiculous and have some weird comb over or have hair on the sides and nothing up through here. That's why I shave my head. you know. So, but I could not tell you how many people have said to me, "Oh, you must be a white supremacist." Okay, I'll give you a great example of something else. When I worked down south, and I worked in a psychiatric hospital down there, the staffing in the hospital was 80% black and 20% white. Now, all upper management was all white. There was no black. So now this is going back into the 90s. Okay, we're going to go back into the 90s. But upper management was all white. All right. Well, I ended up getting together with this young lady that worked there, and her and I got together. And she said to me, she goes, "The first time I saw you," she said, "Oh, there goes another white supremacist because of the way I look." Now, I had hair back then, okay? But because of the tattoos, the way I carried myself, being ex military and stuff like that, she made an assumption. Well, she found out that that wasn't true, obviously. But again, people are always going to be judging. That's what they do constantly. So, you know, Starfire Ed, I love your earrings. I don't even have them in tonight. They're not, I took them out earlier. But thank you. I appreciate that. I get told all the time that I must be a homo because I have earrings. Well, you know, whatever. Have your wife come over and we'll see if I'm a homo. So all of you out there who think I'm a homo, send your hot wives to me because you know she's gonna be safe. She's gonna be safe. I just, you know, people are so ridiculous. They really, truly are. I just, again, you have to laugh. You have to laugh at it. Okay. You know. Oh, hold on a second. You stated best when you say you were comfy. This some that's home. It is where we are, but home. Yeah, you know, it's when you're familiar with your area where you live. That's home. You know, that's home. So, and that's where people will settle. They'll settle within a certain area. I know people that graduated, that I graduated high school with, they never left the town. They went to college, but then they came right back and they settled in that same town. That's what a lot of people do because it's comfortable. Uh, Now I sound like Angry Prepper. Hey man, you know, it is what it is. Hidden Pines Homestead. LOL, I just spit my dinner out on that one, Ed. Sorry, man. Thank you very much for the donation. Well, you know, it is so funny because, you know, I had like when I was in nursing school, I'll give you a great example of something. I had this one young lady that was interested, okay, and I was with somebody at the time, so I was not trying to see nobody. Well, she was telling her boyfriend that she wanted to get together and study with me. Well, she wanted to do more than get together and study. But anyway, he was like, "Oh, I'm not worried about that. Guy's got to be a fag if he's a nurse, right?" So, you know, I just and here's the thing is, I'm going to tell you what, I am the first person. If I was homosexual, I'd come out and say, "Yeah, I'm gay, so what?" Okay? Because I wouldn't care. I don't care what people think. Okay? I'm a human being. We all have our flavor. We all like what we like. And if you want to assume something because I have earrings or because I'm a nurse or any of that stuff, go ahead. I don't care because I gave a greatest example one time. Greatest example. I'm going to give it to you really quickly. So I had somebody said to me, we're having a conversation, and I said, "Yeah, I'm a nurse." And they go, "Oh, are you fag?" And I said, "Let me ask you a question." And I didn't even answer that. I didn't answer that. I said, let me ask you a question." I go, "What do you do for a living?" He goes, "Oh, I work construction." And I said, "Okay. So what do you work with? You work with all men, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay. I work with all women. So who's the fag? Who's got a better chance of being homosexual than the guy? I work with all women. I had the pick of the crop, guys. My first wife was also a nurse. Okay, we met at work. Okay, so you know, that's just how it is. You know, people automatically assume stuff, which I think is ridiculous. But I'm going to tell you what: being a heterosexual male in a woman's profession, it was awesome. I absolutely was very very fortunate. You know, but again, you know, people assume things, and it's like when I went to my 30-year reunion, same thing happened. I had one of the guys, you know, he asked, we're in funny, we're in the bathroom taking a leak, and he goes, "Hey, Ed, what's going on, man?" I go, "Good, how you doing?" He says, "What are you doing?" You know, and I said, "Well, you know, I'm a nurse." And he has the same. He goes, "You gay?" And I go, "No." You know, he goes, "Oh, okay, I was just wondering." But again, that assumption has always been there, which is sad. It's sad. It really is. And now, are there a lot of gay male nurses in nursing? Yep, sure are. I went to school with 60 women and 6 men. Of the 6 men, which I was one of the 6 men, 2 of them I knew for sure were gay. And guess what? They were awesome nurses. So who cares? But I'm not trying to get on to all that, but it just, people will jump to conclusions. They will assume things. It's what people always do. It's just like we've talked about this a lot on here as well. Profiling. People profile all the time. Happens all the time. Okay. Because I ride a Harley Davidson motorcycle, and when it's summertime, I'm wearing a muscle shirt, and you can see all my tattoos. Right. I got earrings. I wear a half helmet. I had my long goatee this last year. People automatically assume I'm some kind of wicked, horrible, bad biker person. I'm the first person that would get off the bike and help anybody. Hey, GEH 1507. Great show, Ed. Keep up the great job. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that. Gay or not, saving the lives of people is what matters. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And again, you know what? Human beings are human beings. That's the way I always feel. I will take everybody on an individual basis. I don't care, again, and I've said this before, I don't care what race you are. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what your sexual preference is, unless you're a pedophile. I have an issue with that. I think you should be shot in the head. Personal opinion. No judgment, but yes, judgment. That's the one thing. That's a sickness, and there's one cure. Period. In my opinion, just giving you my opinion. That's all. But that's just it's something that I have a real issue with, because there's way too much of it in this country, way too much, and it's allowed to continue to go on. So, but moving. Let's talk a little prepping, okay? I know we've been touching a lot of things. I don't think in the head, Ed. Oh, there's something wrong with there's something wrong with them. Period. The people that have that affinity towards that. How do you look at a child and go, "Hey, yeah, wow, that's hot. I'm going to get me some of that." Sick. That's sick. Hey, Southern Boy Prepper. Thank you for the great chat. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here, and thank you so much for the donation as well. Yeah, I know I get on rolls, guys, but a lot of information came today, and I definitely got that out early in the chat, which I thought was really important. I don't know what's going to happen between now and the 20th. I don't know. We're going to have to wait like everybody else and find out if something is really up, or if it's all just BS and that Biden is in and he's doing to be the next president. And again, if that is the case, let's talk about that. If that's the case, Biden's the next president. We have a Democratic House, a Democratic Congress. What do we need to be focusing on? Okay. Now, we need to remember the most important thing, which is your family, your groups, the people around you that count on you. Being in jail or being dead does no good to anybody. No good to anybody. Okay. So again, staying focused, focus on what is important. Continuing to prep, continuing to get ready, continuing to whatever is going to happen, be ready to react to that event. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're in your house and they're coming and they're going to raid your house, and you know that they plan on taking you away, you have every right to defend yourself. Okay. I'm never going to say that you shouldn't. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, don't go out there and look to cause trouble. That's what I'm saying. Don't try to stir that pot. Now is the time, again, low profile, focus on what we can control. What can we control? We can control getting ready for whatever is going to happen. Because again, there is no sign that says this is what is going to happen next. Okay? There is no sign that says that. We don't know what's going to happen next. And so we just got to continue to be smart, continue to get ready for whatever the case may be. All right, really quickly, and I'm going to get into marijuana thing here in a second, okay? We got 1,600 people in the chat. We got 1,140 of the thumbs up. I'm going to ask you again to shoot a thumbs up, and I appreciate it if you would do that to show support for the channel if you have not already done so. So thank you for doing that. Again, with the algorithms, the more interaction that we have, it really does help with that. It pushes us higher up in the rankings. So I would thank you for that reason as well. Again, I appreciate that. And also, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So that is the third reason I like to see that. So thank you for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. Now, I'm going to talk about really quickly, and what a shock. I'm so surprised. My esteemed governor in New York has now decided that he wants to get behind legalization of marijuana. Why would he do that? Let's talk about that for a second. Why would the governor all of a sudden decide, yes, I want to legalize marijuana in New York State? Okay. Well, wait a minute. New Jersey has already legalized marijuana over there. So how many New Yorkers are taking the ride over to New Jersey, getting that marijuana because it's legal over there, giving their tax dollars to New Jersey? Oh my God, we cannot have that happening, right? He's going to make it legal because it's all about money at the end of the day. And you're always going to have people that are always going to smoke marijuana. It's never going to stop. All levels down. It happens, okay? And so I got no judgment on it. You want to smoke pot, you want to get stoned, knock yourself out, okay? And I've talked about this before. Me personally, I cannot function if I'm stoned. Can't do it. If it's 8 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock at night, that will be the end of my day if I get high. All right. It's just the way it is. So